Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. It's great to have you with me today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm coming on a little bit later today than what I normally do. I was up early hours of the morning designing my next class, so I slept in a little bit. So I apologize, but I'm here now. I've got some quick and easy cards for you today. On Thursdays, I like to do quick and easy cards with you, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. So while everybody is jumping on, let me call this up on my iPad so that I can see all of your comments there. So bear with me for one moment and I'll bring this up. Okay, so I better turn my volume down. I always forget to do that. Okay, there we go. Hey Megan, how you going? Great to have you here today. Okay, let me check here as well. Got my iPad running, got my computer running. My comments were working really well on my iPad the other day, except I have to keep tapping the screen because they go away on the screen. So I have to keep tapping the screen to see them. But I'm just going to check to see. Oh, let's mute that one. Okay, there we go. Hi, Rose. Good morning. How are you? Oh, you finally managed to catch my morning session. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah, I came on a little bit later today, actually. I was about 15 minutes later than I normally am. See, I'm still half asleep. I can't even talk yet. Oh, yeah, I've been designing my next class. So hang on a sec. I'm going to kick my thongs off. I'm hot. I've been rushing to get ready. Yes, I've been up late designing my next class. So I'll be advertising that one today, so look out for that. Now, thank you so much to all of you that are coming live with me today. If you aren't sure if you're watching me live or not, you'll see a red live button at the top here in the top left-hand corner. So if you see that, then you'll know that you are live with me today. If that's not there, then you're probably watching the replay. So thank you for coming back and watching the replay as well. And if you're watching over this, over on YouTube, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel as well. And remember that if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, make sure you do that. So you'll see the subscribe button down the bottom here on the right hand side underneath this video. So if you click on that, and then next to there, there's a little bell. If you click on that bell icon and select all notifications, then you'll be sure to never miss out on any of my videos. You'll get notified every time I upload a new one. So that's what's happening. Yes, so if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to do that. If you're watching over on YouTube and you're not following me on Facebook, look for me over on Facebook, Mandy Witherby, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Australia, and click on like or follow. They change it. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's follow, whichever one it is. Click on that one, and I'd love for you to follow me over there as well. All right. So let's see, let me catch up on some comments. Oh, Megan's listening to me in the background. All good, Megan. Thank you for being here. Hey, Deborah, good morning. How are you? Great to have you with us today. Oh, Megan's got her Ugg boots on. She doesn't like cold feet. I live in my Ugg boots in the winter as well. I've got the slipper ones. I've got the real ones too, but I get over hot in those. But yeah, I live in my Ugg boots in the winter as well. This morning it's a bit warm. This room, the craft room here, the sun beams in through the window in the morning. We just have blinds on there. We don't have curtains, so it gets quite hot here in the morning. But I just checked the temperature in the house, and it wasn't actually warm enough for the air conditioning to kick in, because the rest of the house isn't hot. It's just in here in this little room. So that's why if I'm looking a bit shiny, yeah, I'll be rushing around. All right. Okay, where are we up to? All right. So what we're going to be playing with today is, as I said, some quick and easy cards. So on Thursdays, I like to bring to you some quick and easy cards. Now this might be my last Thursday live for a little while. I've got some other commitments coming up and they fall on Thursdays, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to fit in Thursday morning lives anymore. So I'll still be doing my Mondays, my Monday afternoons. They're my staple. They're fixed in concrete. So they'll still be there Mondays at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. My Thursdays I may take a little rest from. However, in saying that, I might pop on from time to time, and it might not be Thursday morning, it might be in the afternoon after my other commitments, or it might be on another day. I might even upload pre-recorded content for you instead. So stay tuned, keep watching my channel, because there will be things happening, okay? But yeah, Thursday mornings are becoming increasingly more difficult, and this year I haven't really been consistent with them on Thursdays anyway because of my back. But it's starting to settle down now, which is good. It's just that there's some other commitments and meetings and things that I have to attend on Thursdays. So yes, my time frame is going like this, and I'm like, I can't fit everything in. But yeah, my Mondays, I'll still definitely be live on Monday afternoons. All right. Good morning, Leslie. How are you? Great to have you with us today. All righty. Okay. Mondays work better for you as well, Megan. Oh, there you go. Good, good, good. All right, so just a couple of things. Let me tell you about a promotion that's happening at the moment, and I've mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. It's called the Waves of the Ocean promotion. It rhymes. I am going to be playing with these products in the next couple of weeks. I've just ordered the papers because the papers were a little bit delayed in coming to us. So I've just got the papers. I haven't got them yet. Oh, sorry. I've just ordered the papers. Haven't got them yet. But when they come in, I'm going to be playing with this. And so I'll probably be sharing this on one of my Monday Facebook Lives coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. So keep a watch for that. This is a beautiful promotion. There are so many gorgeous products in this collection. Let me show you the individual flyer. There you go. So we've got a beautiful stamp set and die bundle, so you can purchase them individually or purchase them together and save yourself 10% when you purchase them as a bundle. Now they will be carrying over to the new annual catalogue when that releases in May, but we've got some other limited time products as well that coordinate, which are the gorgeous designer series paper, the foil sheets, and the beautiful embellishments. Now I have the foil sheets and the embellishments and the stamp set and dies. I'm just waiting on the beautiful paper. But these ones here, they're only available for a limited time. So they are available, the promotion is running until the 2nd of May, which is the day before the new annual catalogue comes out. However, with those limited time products, if they sell out before that, then that might be it. They may not be able to get the stock back in time to continue the promotion. So if you love those products, don't delay, because you never know when those additional products might run out. As I said, the stamp set and dies, they will be carrying over, so they'll be hanging around. But the other products are just beautiful. So it's called Waves of the Ocean. And yeah, so watch out for that in the next couple of weeks. I'll be sharing that very soon once my papers come and I have a chance to design some projects for you. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to tell you about. The other thing I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to tell you about when we tip the camera down to the desk. But do you know what? I didn't even grab out my catalogues today. That's how organized I am this morning. Didn't even grab out my catalogues. But let me tell you, we have got the annual catalogue. We've got the current mini catalogue, which is the January to June mini catalogue. And we've still got, here in Australia and in New Zealand, we've got Celebration still running at the moment. So that is a big promotion. It runs until the 16th of March. So you've got less than a week. Today is Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. So you've got until next Wednesday to grab yourself a bargain in the Celebration brochure. Now with Celebration, for every $90 that you spend, you get to choose a free product from the Celebration brochure, and there are level 2 items for if you're spending over $180 as well. I'll grab that when I tip the camera down. I'll grab that brochure because I wanted to show you in that today as well. But also too, while Celebration is on, so until the 16th of March, if you would like to join Stampin' Up and join my crafting community, then you can also, not only do you get a great deal on the starter kit, which is only $169, you get to choose $235 worth of product, but on top of that, during Celebration, you also get to choose 2 additional stamp sets of your choice. They can be from the annual catalogue, from the mini catalogue, from any others that are on the website. You just can't choose the Celebration products, the Celebration stamp sets or the host sets. So, but anything else, so you can choose the most expensive stamp sets if you like, and they are yours for free during Celebration, and you'll get that starter kit with free shipping as well, which is awesome. So it's an extra saving. So if you would like more information on that, then please let me know. I would love to answer any of your questions, because I like everyone to have all the information before they make the decision if it's right for them to join Stampin' Up. Now, of course, once you do join, you get an ongoing discount on all of your Stampin' Up products, which is awesome. And not only that, you get to join our beautiful crafting community. So in my team, we have a lovely time together. We have some beautiful friendships made within our group, and we just have so much fun. And we have a little Facebook group where I keep everybody updated. We also have in there everybody posting their projects. So we creatively inspire each other, which is awesome. We have some of our team members present projects to us each month, or sometimes we just have a creative fun time together. We get together every month, and we have a little bit of a team meeting, and then we have what we call a team gathering actually, and then we have some crafting time after that, and we do that every single month. And I touch base and keep in contact with everybody throughout the month as well. So not only that, you get early release to all the new products, so we get our hands on them early. We get our demonstrator discount on any current promotion, so you're not missing out on what customers get. We get that plus our discount as well. And you have the opportunity of meeting new friends from not only our team, but from Stampin' Up worldwide as well. And there's special Stampin' Up only websites, Facebook pages, all different sorts of things. So there are so many things, but if you would like more information, please get in contact with me, and I would love to answer any of your questions that you may have. All right, let's get ready to craft. Now let me just double check, have I missed any questions? Now as I'm crafting, as I'm chatting, feel free to jump in, chat with me, chat with each other, ask me any questions that you might have. If I happen to miss your questions in the chat, feel free to ask me again. Oh, Megan just received my card. She said, Mandy, you just made me cry. Thank you so much for the card. Oh, you're very welcome, Megan. I didn't mean to make you cry, but I hope that they were happy tears. She must have just received her card from me this morning. Oh, that's lovely. Hi Eileen, how are you? Great to have you with us this morning. All right. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we will tip the camera down and we'll get playing, and I'll show you what we're going to be playing with today. We're going to be playing with some Celebration product today to make some quick and easy cards, and I've got a big color palette, so depending on which paper we decide to go with, I've kind of got some ideas in my head. So yeah, let's see how we go. All right, so I'm going to cover up the camera and let's get ready. So I'll cover that up. I'll do a little flippity flip of the screen and adjust the camera. Bear with me for one moment, and it's going to be squeaky while I adjust this camera. Now let's hope that today it doesn't fall and it stays where it's supposed to. So it dropped down on Monday and then everything was wonky badonkus. All right, let's see now. Have we got that straight? Okay, another thing I was going to share with you is the Savings in Bloom promotion. So I'll share that with you. Let me grab my catalogues while I'm just on my feet. Okay. All right. So the Savings in Bloom promotion, we're going to be looking at that too, because I've pulled out some of those dies today. So at the moment, we've got another promotion running. So many promotions running at the moment. It's so exciting. And it's a great time to save some money. Save yourself some money and get the best value. You got some great deals happening at the moment. All right, so during March, so from the 1st to the 31st of March, our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is reduced in price by 20%. So it comes down to $83. Here's our little mini machine here. Oh, I've got my washi tape on there. That looks little bit daggy, doesn't it? Let's take that away. Got my little mini machine here, and I've got my plates here as well. We might use this today to die cut some sentiment labels, but this is a great little machine. The plates here fold up, super compact, lightweight, but you can still feel a little bit of weight in it, which is the inside mechanisms, which is all stainless steel. So it's very strong. So we like to call it the Mighty Mini. And it's on special at the moment. So if you are new to crafting, to paper craft, or you just want a small machine that you can, doesn't take up too much space on your desk, or you want something that you can travel with, this is a great sturdy little machine that you can take with you. We've got the rubber feet on the bottom there as well. But yeah, if you're just starting out, this is a great machine to start with as well. Lots of our dies will work with this. There's a few of the bigger ones that won't go through, but lots of our dies work with this, and we've even got some embossing folders as well that are made specifically for the mini machine. So so check that out. And we've got all of these Stampin' die sets that are on special as well. So there's 13 of them that are on special at the moment, all reduced by 20%. And these ones are all ones that will fit through the machine. There's others as well that will fit through the machine, but these are just the ones that are on special. So we've got the all squared away one, which is on this page, and then we've got these 12 as well. So I've pulled out a couple of those. I played with some of them last week and the week before. So check out my last two videos if you haven't seen them yet, then have a look at those. But yeah, we've got so many on special, so all reduced by 20%. So if you've had any of those on your wish list, then now is a great time to grab those. Alrighty. All right, so this is the Celebration brochure. If you don't already have one of these, Celebration finishes in just under a week, so I might not have time to get one to you. However, I have a PDF version on my blog. So if you go to mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, then when you land on my homepage there, when you go into the blog, over on the right hand side, you'll see a copy of the catalogs as well as the Celebration brochure. So you can click on those and that'll take you through to the PDF version. All right. Any products I'm showing you today you can find in my online store, and you'll find my shop button on my blog as well. And this is my March 2022 host code. So if you're shopping with me, be sure to use my host code. I'm just going to move these up a little bit. Be sure to use my host code, and with orders over $50, you will receive a thank you gift from me, as well as a thank you card. Every order receives a thank you card. Now, if you are ordering over $250, don't use the host code, because you'll get to redeem Stampin' Rewards on that order yourself. So you'll get a percentage of your, depending on how much your products are. It starts at 10%, but you will get a percentage of your order over $250 in Stampin' Rewards, which means you can go on a little shopping spree for free, all on Stampin' Up. So be sure to redeem those before you hop out of the register. All right, so we're talking celebration, and this is what I wanted to show you today. So we've got the free Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper. Now this is available during celebration with an order of over $90. So it can be anything that you're ordering from the catalogue, from the online store, clearance rack, kits. Oh, we've got a new kit too that's been released this week. So be sure to check out our kits collection in my online store. And there's a brand new kit that's been released. Oh, actually, it might have come out last week. I think it came out last week. It's called Candles something. What's it called? Hang on a sec. I will find it and I will tell you. It is called Light the Candles, and it's a really quick and easy kit to put together. So if you're new to crafting, or this one would probably even be great for kids, I reckon, too. Yeah, check that one out, Light the Candles. It's a great birthday card kit. So it's really cool. I don't have that one yet, so I don't have it to show you. All right, so this is what we're going to be playing with. Now, this paper actually coordinates with one of the the bundles in the mini catalogue, which I'm just finding for you. Here's the mini catalogue. Actually, it probably tells me here. Page 37, there we go. I like that. See, it tells me up here which, that it coordinates with these products and what page they're on. There they are. So the Daffodil Daydream bundle is this one here. And this designer series paper coordinates with that. But if you don't have this bundle, which I don't have, you can still use other stamps to coordinate with it. All right, so I don't have this one, but we're going to be using some other things today to coordinate. Alrighty, so as I said, free with a $90 purchase, and let's have a look at this beautiful paper. Right, so we've got lots of colors in here, and I've pulled out the cardstock of all of the colors so that we've got plenty to choose from. And let's have a look at all of these papers. So each one is double-sided. I'm going to take them all out of the pack actually, which will make my life a bit easier. Each one is double-sided, and you get 2 sheets of each one. So if I turn them like this, you'll be able to see that's the front side and that's the opposite side. Can you see those there? I'll move them up a little bit and over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's the front and that's the back. So sometimes if you see a designer series paper pack and you might not like every pattern that's in it, remember that there's always something else on the other side, on the reverse side. So even if you don't like the pattern that's on the front, you might like the pattern that's on the reverse. This one's a really great one. We might make a quick and easy card with that one. I'll show you how to utilize this one. This one's great for, well, of course, all of our papers can be used for scrapbooking and card making and any paper craft project, but this one is great for borders on scrapbooking as well. Then that's the back. Whoops, let's go this way. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Hang on a minute. That's it. Okay, so that's the front, that's the back. And then we've got this one. That's the front and that's the back. Love those little hearts, they're really cute. This one, I quite like this one. And we've got some beautiful pale papaya there, which coordinates with this one. Then we've got this one, which is in crushed curry, and I love crushed curry. And that coordinates nicely with that one, which is on the reverse side. And then we've got this one, which is also the other one that I really liked. We've got some daffodil and crushed curry in this one. So there you go. So that's all of the papers. But I thought if we start off with this one, I'm going to show you how to cut this one to utilize this one and make a really quick and easy card with this. So the colors, let me tell you about all of the colors that are in this designer series paper. I've pulled out, as I said, I've pulled out all the cardstock. Here we go. I've got some bits and pieces as well. So we've got Pau Papaya. So these are all the colors that are in that designer series paper. Pau Papaya, Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron. Had to think then which one that was because it's close to a couple of the other colors which I like. Pear Pizzazz, Mossy Meadow, Evening Evergreen, Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, Very Vanilla, and Black. Okay, so that's our color palette that we've got to work with. So I'm probably not going to work with every single one of those colors, but they're the colors that are in the designer series paper. And in fact, that first one that I showed you, I think pretty much has all of those colors. Let me find it again. Look. That one there, I think pretty much has all of the colors. Yeah, this one has all of the colors in it. And then the other ones have just got some of the selected colors. So there we go. Alrighty. Okay, does anybody else have this paper already? Have you already been crafting with this? Let's move that over to the side. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. That came on all of a sudden. Okay. All right. Right. So let's bring in this paper. Now, the best tool that you can have in your craft room, the most used tool in your craft room, will be your paper trimmer. So if you don't already have a paper trimmer, be sure to get one because they are the most used tool because of course you need to be cutting all of your cardstock. All right, because your cardstock comes in A4 sheets here in Australia and New Zealand and Europe as well. We use A4. They use a different imperial measurement in America and Canada. But in Europe and Australia, we use A4 and New Zealand. And our designer series paper comes usually in 12 by 12 or 6 by 6, so we usually need to cut that, and we're usually cutting layers anyway. So I'm going to show you just how to cut this one. So see how we've got a duplicate design top and bottom? We're going to cut that in the middle here. So we're going to line that up. Stampin' Up! Trimmer is awesome. We've got a little edge along the side here and a little edge down here. Now this one down here, this does fold out. So if you want to cut a long piece, you've got measurement along here that goes all the way out to just over 17 inches, about 17¼ inches or 43½ centimeters. Okay, but I don't need it that long, so I'm going to just fold that in. When it's folded in, it's at 6 inches. I know it's exactly 6 inches, so it's half a sheet of designer series paper, of 12 by 12 designer series paper. So I'm lining it up against that edge there, and I'm going to use my dark blade, which is my cutting blade, and cut that in half. Okay, so now we've got 2 pieces. Now of each of these pieces, if you cut each of these in 4 inches wide, so I know we're talking inches only because the paper is 12 by 12 inches, okay, but usually I talk in centimeters, but I'm doing inches at the moment because I'm working with inches paper. If you want to get 3 card bases out of this, you will cut this at 4 inches. 4 inches, which is, I'll tell you what that is in centimeters. it's 10.2, nearly 2, 10.15, really, 10.15 centimeters, okay? You'll need to trim off a little bit from the top or the bottom for the height, but that will now give you, if you did that with both sides, you would have 6 card fronts, okay? So that's what we're going to start with anyway, and then we're going to trim them down even further. Alrighty, so starting with this one. All right, so let's have a look and see which piece we like. They're all pretty much the same, only that this one's got a pink flower here. These two have got the petal pink, no, not petal pink, pale papaya here. And you can look at the colors, yeah, just there, because you can see how that design sort of flows. It's sort of a repeated, almost repeated design. So which piece do we like? I think I like this one with the pink at the top. So I'll put these two away. All right, so now what I would do is I would look at this designer series paper and I'd have a look to see what color. So we're featuring this designer series paper today, okay? That's the main feature, is the papers. So what I would like to do is look at the colors that are in this cardstock, oh sorry, in this designer series paper, and pick out the colors that are going to coordinate with that for the base. So I will probably start with a base of Very Vanilla. All right, probably start with a base of Very Vanilla, and then I'll draw in some of the other color for some matte layering. So we might want to pop out some of these brighter colors like the pink or the mint macaron or the pale papaya, or you might even want to dress it up with some of the green. So I do love Pear Pizzazz. It's probably my favorite green. So if you had a border of pale papaya, I'm just showing you like this, okay, pale papaya. Now putting that onto a Very Vanilla base, we've got a lot of vanilla in the top of this cardstock, so you might even want to pop that up on a different color. So you might want to do, you might want to have, oh, that looks nice actually. Let's take the vanilla away, and you might want to put it on a pale papaya base rather than a vanilla base, and then just have the border of green. Or you could even pick up one of the darker greens. So I'm just showing you the process of how we can work with these papers. So if you're new to card making or you're a little bit stuck, this is kind of the process that you can do with that. That really gives it a nice border, doesn't it? This is kind of the process that you can use when you are designing a card. I think I like it with the deeper color actually. It gives it more of a border and lifts it a little bit off the back of the base, doesn't it? So what if we go with that? So what I'll do is I will get a piece of pale papaya for our card base. Okay, this was just a card front piece that I had there. And we will, I'm trying to keep my cardstock and my paper in order today. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll show you how to create a card base with this one. So we'll bring back in our trimmer. So this is an A4 sheet. Now we need to create a card base. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. Now you can do it two ways. You can cut it in half this way, which is the traditional style of card, or you can cut it in lengthways this way and have it top to bottom opening, which we could do as well, but I'll show you both ways. So we'll take it to, we're looking on our trimmer here, and we want to cut it at 14.85 centimeters. So that's halfway between 14.8 and 14.9 centimeters. I'm going to use our dark blade, which is our cutting blade, and just cut that in half, okay? So now we've got two card bases. Now I like to score mine in half. All right, so these are going to be card bases that are going to fold the traditional way. I like to score mine to make them fold much easier. So we're going to score that at 10.5 centimeters. And this time we're going to use the light blade, which is our scoring blade. And we're going to run that over a few times. That'll depress or emboss a score line in there. So then what we're going to do, that's created a valley fold. So it's pushed down into the cardstock, creating a valley fold. If we flip that over, the other side we call a mountain fold, because where that line is, which is hard to see on camera, it's created like a little bit of a mountain, like a mound. So we're going to have the mountain fold on the inside, and we're going to fold our card in half. Now let me move my trimmer. And now that will give us a much nicer, crisp fold. Okay, and then we can take our bone folder, if you have a bone folder. I'll just turn this around so that I can do this. And if you use your bone folder along the edge, and I like to do it front and back, that'll give you a nice crisp edge. Okay, and then we've got our card base. Now if I were to cut my cardstock in the opposite orientation, in half lengthways, then I would cut it at 10.5 centimeters. So you'd do the opposite, you'd cut it at 10.5 centimeters wide, and then you'd score it at 14.85. And then that would give you a fold like that. It just depends on which way you like to have your fold. If you want the traditional, or if you want the tent fold. Okay, so I think for this one, so we've got this one and we've got this one. So you can use whichever style you like. I think for this card we might use this one because I want to wrap a little bit of twine around it. Okay, so now we're going to cut down our layers to fit on here. Now I think with the first layer, I think I might have, let's have a look. I think I might have a 3mm border, and then I'll have a 2mm border. Okay. So let's cut that down. So this layer needs to be cut at 14.25 by 9.9. So I'll bring in my trimmer and we'll cut that. So we're going to go 9.9 first, 9.9 centimeters. And 14.25. Okay, and then our designer series paper needs to be cut down to 9.5 by 13.85. So we'll do the, just when you're doing this, have a look at your design just to check. I'll move that over so it's not reflecting the light. Check your design where you're cutting your paper to make sure you're not cutting off sections that you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 9.5. So that'll be about there. So if you put that down and just check your design, yep, that'll be okay. So 9.5. And I want to cut at 13.85. Now I've got a lot of white space up here and I've got a lot of greenery down here. So it depends on which bit you would like to take off. I think I'm going to take off some of the greenery because I want that white at the top for my sentiment. Or you might not. You might want to have it, you might want more greenery at the bottom and take off the white at the top, in which case you'd cut it, you'd turn it around and you'd cut it that way. And that would be taking off about that much of the greenery. Actually, I might do it that way. I think I'll do it that way. I was going to do the other way. Or you can take a little bit off both. You can take a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. All right, there we go. Now, the other thing you can do with this paper too is if you like fussy cutting or you don't mind fussy cutting, you can actually cut around the tops of these images here to cut them out, give a little bit of dimension and lay that onto your coloured cardstock. All right, so now this is what our layers are going to look like. Okay, so we've got our pale papaya, so we've got a nice border there, a nice 3mm border there, and then we've got our evening evergreen layer with just a little 2mm border, and see how that just pops it up nicely and just frames that designer series paper. Okay, all right, so that's what we're going to start with. So let's lay all those pieces together. Now what you can do is we're going to keep it simple, so we're just going to stick it all flat. You can use liquid glue, you can use Stampin' Seal, you can use tear and tape, depending on what your preferred adhesive is. It really doesn't matter. The liquid glue, especially if you're new to crafting, the liquid glue is really good because it does give you that little bit of wiggle time, which means being that it's a liquid glue, you've got time to, before that dries, to move your paper or your pieces around to line things up. So that's really good. I've actually been using glue a lot more lately to what I used to. I used to always use tape or tape runner. All right, so we'll line that up and you'll see what I mean. If I don't get it exactly lined up, which I haven't quite, you can just wiggle it around a little bit and get that all nicely lined up, and then you can give that a nice push. Now, we can stick that straight down, or we can use what we call Stampin Dimensionals, which is our double-sided adhesive foam, to pop that up off the front of the card base. So if you want to step it up a little bit, you can pop that up off the card base to make that really stand up off the card. So we might do that. I actually think I need some more of the larger dimensionals. So let me see if I got a pack. Nope. I've only got my minis at the moment. That's okay. Let's use what we've got out here. We can use our edge pieces too. Now before we do that, I want to wrap a little bit of twine around here, and then all I'm going to do is add a sentiment. So I've pulled out a whole heap of ribbons, and I've got some twine as well. I pulled out some ribbons that I thought would coordinate with these papers. And I've got twine, I've got baker's twine, and I've got linen thread as well. So I brought out a whole heap of different ones. I'm actually thinking this one might go nicely. Let's have a look. Or this one might too, actually. So let's have a look. Have a little play. Now, if you don't have ribbon, that's okay. You can just simply add a sentiment and be done. If you want to add a little bit of bling, you can add a little bling. That would be okay too. But no, I think that one's not going to work. Yeah, but totally up to you if you want to bling it up, depending on how busy you want it to be or how plain you want it to be. But it can still be a beautiful card with a minimal amount of product. That one looks nice, and that one also looks nice. Or we could use a little bit of probably white baker's twine, I'm thinking. Oh no, not white. Let's go vanilla, because we've got vanilla in the paper, not white. You could use white. You'd probably still get away with the white baker's twine, but we do have vanilla in the paper. So we could use vanilla to wrap around as well. But I think I like the ribbon. Not sure about that one. So I'm having a look to see before I adhere it. I might try that one. Pop this one. This one's a beautiful one as well. This is the glitter organdy ribbon in black, and we also have that in a white as well. And this one is the black and white gingham ribbon. So I might just tie that around. So because I've got an opening card base like that, if I were to stick that down flat, you can run the ribbon all the way around, okay, that whole card base, and that would be okay. However, if you haven't stuck this down yet, but you've already got it adhered to the cardstock, you can actually just tie it around that layer. Just saves a little bit extra ribbon. You can do it either way, it doesn't matter. And you can either tie a bow or you can tie a knot, whatever you choose, whatever is easiest for you. So we might just do just a little knot on this one. We'll make it easy rather than tying a bow, because sometimes tying a bow can be a little bit fiddly. There we go, and I'll grab my snips and just trim that. Trim that ribbon. There we go. So there's a few different ways you can do your ribbon. That's just a quick and easy way of doing it. Okay, and then you can just move that to wherever you want it. I'll have it over to the side a little bit. Tweak that a tad. So we get our ribbon sitting nicely. And then we can pop that up onto Dimensionals. Now, if you want to stop that from, oh, look, I've got it twisted on the back. I didn't even realize. That's okay. Nobody's going to see that, so it won't matter. If you want to make sure your ribbon's going to stay put, you can use some mini glue dots and pop a little mini glue dot under your bow. You can put tape on the back of them. Depending on how you want to attach your ribbon, there's all different ways of attaching your ribbon. I'm just showing you a really quick and easy way today. So I've just taken a little glue dot off the roll. Might just double that over because this ribbon's a bit finer. And I'm just going to pop a little glue dot under the bow there to keep that bow in place. Okay, so that's our little bow. And now if we turn that over, I'm going to pop some Dimensionals, some of our adhesive foam on the back to pop that up off the card base. Now, as I said, you could stick that down flat if you wanted to. That would be totally fine. It would still look beautiful. This just gives it a little bit of a lift off the card base. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I had enough. All right. So these come with paper on the front and the back, and you remove them. You paper on the back, and you remove them from this sheet to reveal the adhesive. So I'll remove this paper now, and now that makes that adhesive on this side too. So now they are double-sided adhesive foam. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool just to remove the backings, the paper backings. It's a really great multi-purpose tool, this one. I use it for lots of different things. I might just give that another go with the bone folder before I adhere that cardstock. There we go. It's wanting to keep popping up, isn't it? All right, so then we can just pop this down on the card base, like so. There we go. Yes, I do have enough on there, Fee. We need lots of Dimensionals. We don't want any saggy bits. It's good to have you with us, Fee. I didn't even know that you jumped on. Had my head down, not looking at comments. How are you today? Yeah, okay, so that's the basis of our card, and so now we need a sentiment. So I have pulled out quite a few different stamp sets with different sentiments that I thought might be nice. So I've got Biggest Wishes, probably will be too big for what I want for this one, but I've got these ones here as well. Now, not only that, but I've also got, now let's see, just stumbled across me, did you? Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad that you found me. So we can either use a stamped sentiment and put that onto a sentiment label on our card, Or we could use, we could maybe even use some word dies. So let's have a look and see. These are the Amazing Thanks dies. These are a new one that just have come out in the mini catalogue. And we've got Thanks and You Are Amazing. So I'm thinking the thanks would be nice. Let's see. So we've got the cursive font. Hang on, let me move these stamp sets out of the way for a sec. We've got the cursive font, and then we've also got a shadow that you can use too. So depending on what you want to do, but that might be nice. That might be nice on there. Give us a border around it. Now, as I said, if you wanted to keep it really simple, you can just stamp a sentiment. If I had have trimmed it and left a bit more vanilla at the top, you could have stamped the sentiment directly onto the designer series paper before sticking it down. Or you can use a label die, or you can use word dies. So with the label dies, I've pulled out a few different ones that we've got lots, but I've pulled out a few different ones depending on the sentiment that you're using. I've got a little one here, and I pulled out some extra greenery as well in case you wanted to play with some of that. And there's some more greenery. We've got tag dies, and we've got all these fantastic labels. So this is the Tasteful Label dies. This is a very popular one that we use a lot here at home. This one also is another one, the Switch So Sweetly dies. Stitch So Sweetly, not switched. Stitch So Sweetly dies. They're another good one for sentiments. The Hippo dies, Hippo and Friends dies. They're another great one for sentiments. And then we've got the rectangle dies if you want to. We've got some longer ones here that are great for sentiments. And then if you want to cut out any of your designer series paper with a nice stitched border, there's those as well. There's so many others as well, but I just wanted to pull out some that I thought might work well. So let me just think about this and decide which way I want to go. So we could do the thanks. Actually, we might play with that one. So I'll bring in my little Mighty Mini, and let's cut this and see how that will look on our card. All right, so I've got my mini machine. I've got my #1 base plate. So as I said before, all of these plates come with the machine. I've got my 2 cutting plates. So these are the ones that you use with dies. Now, my bottom plate is getting quite cut up and a little bit warped now because you can see I've been using that a lot, both sides. So I'll have to replace this one soon. And we do sell the replacement plates, but I keep using them and using them and using them until I can't use them any longer, just to utilize them. And I've got a cleaner one, which is an as cut up for the top. Fee said she loves this. Love this though, glad I did. Oh, good, glad that you found me, awesome. I had the DSP, but not the daffodil stamps and dies. Yeah, same. That's what I was saying before, Fee. Same with me. I don't actually have the stamp sets, the stamp set and dies. I just have the paper. All right, so what we might do for a border, we might use black for the border. So I've got some bits of black here. So I might just, I'll use my trimmer and I'm just going to cut a little section there because I don't want to run that whole piece of black through the machine. So I'll just cut a little strip. I'll just do that off the side here because now I don't have room for my machine now because I've got, for my trimmer I should say, because I've got my machine here. So we can fit that one on. And then I'm thinking maybe something, I'll do them one at a time actually. So you just pop the cardstock down onto your clear plate and then you put the die with the cutting edge down. So the cutting edge you'll see is like a little ridge around the edge, and it is a little bit sharp, so just watch your fingers. So place that face down, and then you put another number 2 clear plate over the top, and you just stagger your plates a little bit so that it helps the machine to grab them as they go through. So don't line them up exactly square at the end, just stagger them back a little bit, and that will help the machine to grab those plates. There we go, just wind that through. And we should, there it is. We've got that's our shadow for our sentiment label. Okay, and just clean all that excess cardstock off your plates before you run your plates back through. Otherwise, those little extra bits, they indent on your cardstock when you run that through next time. And now we've got our cursive sentiment, and so I'm thinking I might pick up the Flirty Flamingo. Will I do that one? I'll try it in the Flirty and see how that looks. So I'll just trim a little strip of cardstock. There we go. So we'll try that with the Flirty Flamingo. We'll see how that looks, because there is Flirty Flamingo in the paper there at the top. Although, depending on where we put the thanks, it might end up covering that up. Move our little Mighty Mini out of the way. There we go. And so this one now cuts the cursive part of the font. There we go. So we'll just clean this off our plate. Alrighty. Now remember too, as I said at the beginning, that our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is 20% off at the moment, so you can get it at a great price. If you're looking for a die cutting machine, or you're just getting started with crafting, it's a great machine to have. And I've got the large machine as well, and I love using both. Oh, that will be nice, I think. We could even, yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, let's stick these two together. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet, and I'll bring back in my multi-purpose liquid glue. Now there's different ways you can do that. This font is thick enough that you can just dab some glue on the back there, which we might just do that. We're just going to keep it simple today. There's other gluing methods that you can use. We also have adhesive sheets that you can attach to your cardstock before you die cut it. So then when that cuts out, it becomes a sticker. So there's that available as well. We've got fine tip glue pen. And then there's the sponging technique as well, which I was going to do, but I just decided we'll just do that. We'll just do it this way for today. Keep it simple. All right, now when you get the glue on this, be careful because it might stretch out a shape a little bit. So then you're just going to place that down really carefully onto the shadow font. Oops, I've got a little bit of excess glue oozing just there. I think I put a bit much. Where is my, I'll get my my baby wipes to clean my fingers. Okay. Right, get that glue off my fingies. All right, so we just give that a nice press there, and any excess glue we can just wipe away. Okay, so that wasn't too hard, was it? Now we can work out where we want to put this. Now, because it's a little bit thicker, we could put the mini Stampin' Dimensionals behind there too to pop it up off the card. So you might want to put it down here near the sentiment. You might want to put it up the top there where there's less sort of detail, so that the thanks stands out a little bit. You might want to put it across the flowers. It just depends on where you want to have it, and you can stick it flat if you want to, or you can pop it up on dimensionals. So I might bring in my little minis. Now, as I said, with our Stampin Dimensionals, they're our double-sided adhesive foam, and they come in the regular size, which I just about finished my sheet. I've got one left on that sheet. Or they come in the mini, and they also come in black. Actually, you know what? I've got my black ones here, and I rarely use them. So let's use some of the black ones today. The black ones come in a multi-pack of the different sizes. So you've got the minis and the regulars in one pack. So hang on, these are all this is how I store mine. They're always within arm's reach, and I just keep them in this little box, which has a very pretty lid actually for this box, but it never gets the lid put on it because I'm always using them. Isn't that gorgeous? But it lives underneath because I'm forever reaching for them, so I never get to put the pretty lid on. So let's use some of our black ones today because we're using black cardstock. So that'll, it's great to use these with dark coloured cardstock because then it doesn't show up. So if they happen to peek through from the back, if they're put in a section where it's not quite thick enough or wide enough, I should say, then they don't show up as much because they're black. Now, if you don't quite have the right size, you can cut them down. So let's pop that one there. I might cut some of these down a little bit. I'll just get my tape scissors, and I'm just going to cut a few, or you can use the edge pieces of your dimensionals. So around the edges of your dimensionals, you can use those pieces as well. Don't throw those away because they're useful pieces. So make sure you use them up as well. So I'm just going to add a couple here and there to some of these higher pieces. Might add a little bit to the S there. So let's just cut that one, and we'll add this one down here. There we go. Oh, I've got an extra bit here. Let's just add that in there because I've got it. Okay, so now there we go. You like this, Fee? You like the font? Thank you. Oh yes, it is a beautiful box. Yes. Yeah, it's a shame I don't get to look at the lid. I should put the lid just on my dimensionals just from time to time, just so I can look at the pretty lid, shouldn't I? So just removing the backing paper from our dimensionals, and now you can hardly even see them because they're black, the same color as the cardstock. See? Aren't they great? I don't use them enough, I think, the black dimensionals. I always just reach for my usual ones, my standard ones. So now we can work out where we want to put this. We've got our bow at the bottom there, so it might be nice sitting down near the bow. I think at the top it won't be balanced properly because then we'll have, you know, that at the top and that at the bottom kind of thing. So I'm thinking either in the middle or down. I think I like it down near the bow actually. I think I'm going to pop it down here. I'll just move that little bow out the way. There we go. That's pretty cool. All right, and we've got our ribbon there. And then we can finish off with some bling. So Stampin' Up! Has lots and lots of bling to choose from. And I just brought it all out that I had because I couldn't decide. So let's see. Oh, you know what? How about some little butterflies up flying in the flowers there? That would be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, there's lots and lots of bling that Stampin' Up! Has. These ones would also be nice, the Iridescent Rhinestones, because they pick up different colours. What else have we got? No, black matte dots, we won't probably see them. We've got in colour square gems. We've got the in color jewels. They're probably not the right colors. So just look at the colors in your papers to see what you think would pick up, which embellishments would pick up the nice colors in there. So I've got all these different ones. They're the wrong colors. But if ever you're not sure, if you have a hard time choosing, my go-to is always the basic rhinestones. So we've got silver and gold ones as well. Got bigger gold ones. There's the black and white matte dots. Polished dots. So many to choose from. So these are from the different catalogs. Some of these are from the annual catalog. Some of these are from the mini catalog. We've got some pearls. The holiday rhinestones. So they're in different colours. The champagne rhinestones. And my standard rhinestones. Oh, I was using them last night when I was designing my class. I've left them over there. Hang on a sec. And there we go, our rhinestone basic jewels. You can never go past those. If all else fails and you're not sure what to use, grab some rhinestones. They go with everything. All right, so I'm thinking these ones or these ones, and I'm not sure which to use. Let's open up some of our brushed brass butterflies. I haven't used many of those yet. Oh, hey, Deborah. Oh, Deborah said use the butterflies. Yeah, there you go. I just looked up and saw your comment, Deborah. We are on the same page. I think I will because they are really pretty. Alrighty, so let's see. Whoops. Let's have some little butterflies flying up here near the flowers. There we go. We'll put a little mini one as well. There, how's that? Our little butterflies. Can you see those there? Now, if you wanted to add something else, you could pull in your Wink of Stella glitter brush. So this has got a glitter solution in it. So give that a little shake up to disperse the glitter. And it's just got this little brush on the tip here. So let's glitz up our thanks and just make that a little bit glittery as well. Just to add a little bit of something. As I said with the butterflies and the ribbon, these are added steps if you want to do them. So if you're new to crafting and this all seems a little bit overwhelming, just keep it simple with just your cardstock and your designer series paper and a sentiment. As I said, with the sentiments, you can use the dies like I've used today, or just choose a stamp set that has some really nice sentiments that you like. And then just stamp a sentiment either directly onto the vanilla part of the designer series paper. And if you're going to do that, I would have cut the paper with a little bit more vanilla at the top. Or you can stamp it onto a piece of cardstock, cut it out, cut out the sentiment either in a rectangle, or you can cut around the sentiment, or use a punch, or use one of the die sets, one of the label dies. There we go. So that just gives us a little bit of a bling now to our, you might even want to bling up some of your flowers. Let's bling up the little pink flower. Bling up the little flowers, the little coloured ones as well. My brush is getting a bit dry. Let's give it a little squeeze. All you need to do is just squeeze the barrel very gently to get that fluid to flow through again, but you don't want to squeeze it too hard. And when you do squeeze it, don't squeeze it over the top of your project, because I've done that before and it can run out really quickly, and then you get a big mess on your, let's do the centers too, let's do all the colored bits. You get a big mess on your cardstock or paper. So just add this little bling. These are just all added bits that just add a little bit of interest to your project. Again, totally optional, these extra little bits. There we go. And we are done. And that is our little quick and easy card today. So wasn't that was pretty easy to put together. Wasn't tricky at all. It was just a matter of choosing the elements that we want to have on there. But isn't that beautiful? Just makes a really pretty little card, and it doesn't need to be complicated. As I said, you can choose different ribbons for there as well. And there's so many different choices, different things that you can do. So there is a nice quick and easy card for you. So let's just have a look too. I wanted to show you, I might do a quick little note card as well. So Stampin' Up! Has, I've got a full pack here actually. Let's have a look at the full pack. Whoops. Stampin' Up! Also has note cards. So they come with the little note card in there and the envelope, and you can get them in very vanilla or white. So these are great for when you're starting out with stamping as well. If you're not sure about cardstock and what to do and about cutting your card bases and things like that, these are already done for you, and they're a nice little note card size. So how about if we just do a quick little note card? So I'll show you. There's one of the note cards, and there's a matching envelope that comes with it. Now the note cards, the good thing about them is they are already scored for you. So if you fold that with the mountain fold, as I explained to you with this one, the mountain fold is the part that sort of sits up like a little mountain. That's on the inside. Okay, then we just fold that. Now this is nice thick cardstock. This is with the thick very vanilla. Hang on, we've got to just make sure when you do fold that, make sure your edges line up before you press down on that fold seam, the folded seam. There we go. And then we'll flip that over, give that a little burnish with our bone folder. Okay, so there we've got our little note card and our envelope. So let's bring in now some of the other designer series paper. Hang on a sec, I'll pop that up there. And let's bring in the other paper. I just might move our card that we've just made over to let that Wink of Stella dry. Okay, so these are all the other papers. Now I was interested in using this one with that. I liked those two together. This is the one that we already used. I also like that one. So I'm just having a look to see what we can do. We've also got that one. That's a nice one as well with the Power Papaya. Let's have a look and see which one should we use. Might go this one because the detail on this one is nice and small for the note card, although actually I might use that one because that's got a lot of colour in it too. Which one? Okay, I'm going to get you all to vote which designer series paper to use. That one, or that one, and then I'll match to it. Because I'm being indecisive again today. So do we want this one? Whoops, hang on, let's move our note card out of the way. So this one with the daffodils, this one with the daisies and the daffodils, or the very colourful one. So which one would you like me to use? Hey Rose, oh, you have to leave, no problem at all. Feel free to catch the replay later on, Rose. So do we want this one on the left with the daffodils? Do you want this one with the daffodils and the daisies, or this one with all the different flowers? Which one? Let's take a vote. The first one with the daffodils. Fee likes this one. Yep. Oh, I'm glad that you all liked the card. Yes, the butterflies are still available, Rose. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back on the comments. I missed some of these comments before. Oh, Megan had to go as well. That's okay, no worries. Yep, okay. What else did I miss? Did I miss anything else? Scrolling. No, that's all good. Okay, so this one, the daffodils. Anybody else want to take a vote? No? Okay, we'll go with that one. Alrighty. And now I will grab some coordinating paper to go with that one, which I had out this one to coordinate with that one. That'll be beautiful. All right, and we're going to do a quick little note card. All right, just getting myself all organized over here. Okay, so we'll bring in our trimmer again. And I'll do what I did on the other one, which is cut this one in half. Now, when you're going to cut, oh, actually, it's the same paper front and back. Okay, so I'm not going to cut two sheets. I'm just going to cut this one sheet. Okay. When you're cutting your paper, look at the design, and if it's directional, which this one is, because all the flowers are standing up that way, that means I want to cut it across this way if I want to get 3 card fronts that way. Okay, so I'm going to cut it across that way, so that means I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to cut it in half at 6 inches. Okay, so I've got one sheet, and I've got the second sheet. All right, then if you want to cut your card bases again, you can do it at 4 inches, and you can do that 3 times, and you'll get a total of 6 card fronts. Sorry, not card bases, card fronts. 6 card fronts from your designer series paper. Now, I'm only working with a note card today, so I'm just going to cut one, and then I'm going to work out what I want to do with it on my note card before I cut the other piece. So I think what I'm going to do, I will have a little bit of a matte layer. So I'll just tuck this paper out of the way. I'll have a little matte layer again on this one, and this time I might pick up, let's see, I might pick up the, just going to see how that will look. Oh yes, that'll be nice. All right, so we'll pick up the Flirty Flamingo in there, and I'm just going to need to cut some more Flirty Flamingo. Okay, because this piece is not big enough. So we're going to cut some more Flirty Flamingo. So I'll bring back in the paper trimmer. So the trimmer is getting a big workout today. So I'll do what I did before, and I'll cut my, actually, have I got a piece? Let's see. Oh no, I didn't have another piece of that already cut. All right, so I'm going to cut this in half to make 2 card bases, 2 card base sizes, even though I'm not making a card base. But this is how I always cut all of my cardstock. So I'm cutting that at 14.85. Okay, so now I've got enough for 2 card bases if I want to use that as a card base. This piece I'm going to cut in half again at 10.5. So if I'm doing a standard size card, okay, now I've got a standard card front size, okay, but we're not using a full size. It's just that that's the way that I always cut all of my cardstock, and then I cut it down from there. That's just my system for cutting cardstock. All right, so now let's measure the front of this one. Because this is a note card, this one measures, the measurement's a little bit different, so it's 8.9. I'm going to write this down because I always forget how big these note cards are. So 8.9 centimeters by 12.7, like 12.7. Okay, so if I want to do a matte layer, now this is only a very small card, so I will probably only do a 2mm border. So that means if this card is 8.9 by 12.7, which, excuse my scratchy writing, and I want a 2mm border around each side, I've got to take off 4mm from each of those dimensions. So that'll be 8.5 by 12.3. Oops, nearly wrote the wrong thing. Okay, so now my matte layer is going to be 8.5 centimeters by 12.3. So that's what I'm going to cut this piece down to. Okay, so let's go this way first. We're going to go 12.3. 1, 2, 3. And the reason I went that way first is because when I cut that strip, I can now keep this strip for another project to use as a sentiment label. Okay, because that's a good size for a sentiment label. So I'll keep that piece. I won't throw that away. And now this one is going to be 8.5. 8.5. There we go. Now this one also too could be used as a sentiment label. So I'll keep that one as well. All right, so now we've got our matte layer. And that is going to give us a nice 2mm border around. You can see 2mm of the vanilla around that. All right, so now we want to cut down this piece and we want to take off, you can either do another 2mm or you could even take it to 1.5mm, which let's do 1.5mm. So that means we've got to take off a total of 3. We're using maths now. I'm not great at maths. So we'll take a total of 3mm. So let's go 8.2 by 12 centimeters. Okay, so I'm showing you how to do your measurements as well to do your layers. And I'm keeping these layers really simple. All right, so we want to go 8.2. Now I know that I want to use some of this, the reverse side of this paper. So I'm going to go this way first. 8.2. Wait, is that right? Yes. Is that going to be right? That's not right. I've got that measurement wrong. 8 point. Oh, because this is supposed to be 12 this way. Whoopsie, I nearly went the wrong way. Lucky I double checked. Lucky I went, yeah, okay, that's right. So I want to go 12 that way and 8.2 that way. Let's just see, 8.1, 2. Yeah, I'll go this way first, 12. Nearly cut my dimension in the wrong orientation. Now we're going to keep this piece because we're going to use the other side. And 8.2 this way. 1, 2. There we go. There we go. And you can keep this strip as well because we can use that to decorate the inside of the card. All right, so that's our little panel. So it's going to look like this. So we're going to have that piece on there and then that piece on there. Okay, with a nice little 1.5mm border this time. Okay, so that's a really cute card already, but I want to add in some of the opposite side. So you can add this in different ways. You could even add this one and have it going down the side if you want to have that piece going down the side, or you might even like to cut that in a thinner strip. Or you can have it going across that way. You might even want the thinner one going across that way. So you can do that in different, so just use your scraps and just move them around on your card to see where you like them, how you like the look of them. So this is, how wide is that? That's just over 3 centimeters. That's 2. I actually think I like the 2 centimeters better. Or do we want that right at the bottom? So yeah, so you just keep moving it around until you get it Well, that could be nice too. Just having the bottom part covered, and then the top part is the daffodils. And then you could put your sentiment on there as well. You could do a little strip with your sentiment on there. All right, well, what I'll do is I will adhere these two first, and then that'll stop those bits sliding around so that it makes it a bit easier for us to position everything, to get everything placed. Oh, you like the tall strip, Deborah? Yep. Yes, maths is tricky. Yes. Oh, hey, Tina Marie, how you going? Great to have you with us. We are doing quick and easy cards today. We already made one. I'll show it again at the end. And now we're doing a little quick note card. Alrighty, so let's line that up with our glue. Okay, there we go. So Deborah liked the long strip down the side. Okay, all right, see, those two will stay together now, so that makes it a bit easier. She liked this down the side. Yeah, that does look nice, actually. Okay, let's do that. Deborah's choice. Go with Deborah's choice. Now I'm just going to burnish on the sides here, because when I cut the paper, I had it turned over the other way. So what it meant was when I cut it, it just folds that edge over ever so slightly. You can't see it on camera, but I can see it on the paper. And so by burnishing the edges, it just flattens them down. We call that burnishing when we rub the bone folder over it. We call that burnishing. Technical term, just means we're pushing down the cardstock, really. Okay, so let's adhere this down the side. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, that looks nice. Very nice. So this bit, we can use some of the offcut of that to decorate the inside if we want to. Okay, so now we need a sentiment for on this one. We could do the same. We could do the thanks, but we already did that. So let's do a stamped sentiment on this one, and we'll choose a sentiment label. Well, actually, let's choose the sentiment first, because then that will determine what sort of label I use, or if I just cut a rectangle. Let's see. Oh, this is a nice one, and this one too. In a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind. Just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. I like that one. You're the best. Because of you, each day's a little bit brighter. That'd be nice. You can put the because of you on the front, and then each day's a little bit brighter on the inside. With heartfelt thanks. And I've got all these ones from Inspired Thoughts. They're great sentiments as well. We've got the Nature's Harvest ones. The other one I had out, I think I'm going to use one of these ones from Encircled in Friendship. I really like this one. In a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind. Or just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. Ooh, that's tricky. Which one do we use? I like them both. Okay, which sentiment, everyone? Help me to choose today. Do we want to use in a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind, or do we want to use just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today? Do we want the be kind or the thought of you? Which sentiment would you like me to use? So it's viewer's choice today. Viewer's choice. The second one, Deborah, this one. Just a note to let you know someone thought of you today. Yep, that's a nice one. Oh, Fee said that one as well. We've already got 2 for that one. 2 votes for that one. All right, let's get that one out. Let's go with that one. I just mounted these ones up last night, actually. I hadn't used these till last night. Okay, Okay, we'll use that one. Just a note. I'll stamp it onto a piece of Very Vanilla, which I have a scrap here somewhere. I thought I had a scrap here somewhere. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? No, I might need to get another piece out. That's okay. Okay. All right. I've got a card-based piece here, so I'm just going to cut this one down. I'll just cut this one in half at 10.5. Oh, that doesn't look like the right length. That's, what is that? 14 point, oh yeah, it is. No, it's not actually. That must have been an offcut. Now it's a card front. I'm going to cut both of them down to card fronts because otherwise I'll go to use it later thinking that it's a card front size and it won't be. That must have been cut down from something else. Okay, so now we've got two card front pieces. So I'll put one aside and we'll use this one. And we'll stamp that, but before we stamp it, I'm going to decide which die to use so that I know where on my cardstock to stamp that to make sure that my die is going to fit around it. All right, so I'm thinking that one or that one or that one would be nice. Oh, actually, hang on. Where's our little card? Where did I just put the card? Where did I just put the card? Oh, there it is. There it is. It was hiding. It was hiding. I just had a good idea. Wait, where did they go? What about a little tag on there with the sentiment? I don't know if it's going to fit though. The tag might be too big for the size of the sentiment. Oh, I think it will be actually. Oh, that was the idea that I had, but they're a little bit too narrow. That's okay. That's okay. We've got all these other beautiful tags. Oh, I think I might have found the one. That'll look nice on that one. Or, let's have a look. It could go on that one. Or it could go on that one. All right, we're going to stamp it. Just in the memento, I'm going to stamp it sort of in from, let's put the card over this side. Okay, the card's over this side on my right, everybody. If I'm looking for my card, remind me that's where I put it down. Okay. Okay, so we'll just use a little bit of memento. Now, because it's a linen pad, I like to rub, and then tap, tap, tap because it's a very solid pad compared to the Stampin', the other one, the classic Stampin' pads. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. All right, so I'm just going to stamp it down from the edge a little bit there like that. Actually, I didn't stamp that well. Let's do that again. There we go, that's better. I didn't stamp it evenly at the top. It's a bit thicker in places and thinner in others. Okay, and I'll just give this a little clean on my Simplest Chamois. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out these dies and we're going to decide which die to use. So all of these dies that I'm using today will fit through the mini machine. So we could do that one. Oh, that'd be pretty. I like that one. Or there is, no, that one's too small. And this one's probably going to be too large. Yeah, that one's a little bit too big. That one's perfect. I like that one. Or we can go with, Deborah said, I thought you smudged, but my computer screen is dirty. No, I did smudge a little bit on that one, Deborah. Just went a little bit heavy. Oh, Fee said I'm sounding like her. Is that because I'm being indecisive, Fee? Or because I'm asking everyone for their opinions? Are you indecisive on your lives, Fee? All right, so we've got that one, or perhaps this one. That'd be nice as well. That's another nice die. We've got this one, which is also lovely, and we can add some gems at the side. Still vibing this one more so, or this one, or I do love the hippo dies as well. So these are my favorite die sets. That one, oh, that one hugs it beautifully. It's like it was meant to be. Well, there's that one. So that one, I love the frame on that one. I love the framing on that one, or that one. Oh, it's a hard choice now. Okay, everyone. Viewer's choice again. 1, 2, or 3. Which die would you like me to use? 1, 2, or 3? And I've got an avalanche happening over here of all my stamp sets and dies because I pulled out so many. Number 1, Fee likes number 1. Okay, what does everybody else like? Number 1, 2, or 3? Amber likes number 2. Meant to be number 3, Deborah said. Oh, we've got so many choices. Leslie said number 3. So we've got two choices for number 3. Any more? Going once, going twice. We've got 3. So we've got 1 for this one, 1 for this one, and 2 for this one. Majority is going to rule. Anybody else? No? Okay, we're going to go with number 3. All right, so I'll pop those dies up there. Alrighty, so now I'm putting this through the mini machine. So I'm just going to cut this roughly with my scissors. Don't freak out, everybody. I didn't use my trimmer just then. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so I'm going to bring in my mini and we're going to line this up. I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape around that just so that it keeps it nice and straight. I don't want it to move. Actually, it helps if I turn it up the correct way, doesn't it? With the cutting edge down. Make sure that is fitting in nicely. There we go. Get my washi tape and I'm going to stick that down here. You can use post-it notes if you don't have washi tape. You can do the same thing with post-its and you can use them over and over. The washi tape's a little bit more delicate, so it does tend to tear up a little bit, so I'm forever changing my washi tape. All right, so we're going to pop that in our mini machine, our Mighty Mini, which is on special at the moment. Remember, everybody, 20% off on your mini. Grab it while it's on special till the end of March. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. I love that. I love the detail around the edge as well. Got that beautiful stitched detail around the edge. There we go. Okay. And so here's our card. We haven't put this down yet because I haven't decided about ribbon. But there's our little sentiment label. Okay, so now what I think we need to do is add a little bit of ink around the edges to make that pop up off the card a little bit, because otherwise we're going to lose it in that, we're going to lose it in the background there, even if we overlapped it there. So we can, or we do have, there is another die that does go around that one. We could add that in the background. Will that be too much? We could try it and see how that would look. Just thinking. What if we had some, we add that on there? Would it be too much? Should we just add that with some ribbon? Let's have a look and see. If we had some Power Papaya cardstock, Let's just see, I've got some cut down here. We could quickly cut a piece of this and just see what that will look like in the background behind that one. I'm not sure. Or actually, the black might be good to have a deeper color behind it. Let's just quickly do this. We'll do some cutting with our machine. I've got a scrap of black. We can do one of each and we'll see. We'll see what it will look like. Otherwise, what we can do is we can just ink around the edges of that die cut label. And is that one piece? Yes. And that'll help to give it a little bit of a border as well. So we'll just run this through. Okay, so there's the Power Papaya one. Let's do that again with the black. Just to make a couple of little accent pieces there. Oh. Mine's getting a little bit tight because my plate is getting more and more bowed. My bottom plate, I need to replace it. I've been using it so much lately. There we go. Okay, so let's have a little looky if we add that to that. No, I think that's too heavy. That to that. Well, that's pretty. So it would be sort of like that. I don't like the black. The black was too heavy. Could put it in the middle. We could put it. I don't go with things sort of in the middle usually. I like to have them. I think I like it at the top there. Or do we ink around the edges of that one and just have it on its own? So many decisions to make. All right. So the next thing is, do we add some extra ribbon? Now I've got some, oh, they're white, they're not vanilla. Oh, you know what we're going to use? We are going to use some baker's twine and I'm going to wrap it around there. Okay, so we'll take some baker's twine. I've got that vanilla baker's twine that we had before and I'm going to wrap it around my card here a couple of times, just around that way. I'll go one more time. And we're going to tie a bow up here. So we'll just trim that off. Oh, I picked up my blunt scissors, didn't I? That's okay. All right, and we'll tie a bow. I just might need a little bit more length on this bit here. So let's give this a little bit of a wiggle. We'll slide that down a bit. Oopsie. And make sure that's not pulled too tight. All right, so we just want to make sure that twine isn't pulled too tight on that cardstock because we don't want it to bow, but we don't want it too loose either. There we go. All right, so we'll pull that up there and tie a bow at the top. There we go. Okay. All right, we can trim those little ends up afterwards. Just try and move that one in the middle of the two of those. So a bow sitting in the middle there. There we go. Okay. And I like my twine a little bit sort of crisscrossed so that it's not completely straight. could fiddle, you know what, I could really fiddle with my bows all day and I think I still wouldn't get them how I want them. Is anybody else like that with their bows? I'm always super fussy with my bows. There we go. Okay, so that's all good. All right, ready for our card front. There we go. And now we just need to decide about the sentiment, whether or not we layer that up, or do I just have the sentiment piece on its own and just ink around the edges perhaps. But I don't mind that. That would be nice. What do you think? Oh, you think ink the edges, Deborah? Okay. Yeah, instead of that, so take that away and just have that. We could have that just up there in the top corner, and just have the edges inked. Yeah. Okay. All right, so will we go pale papaya? Hang on a minute, I've got to get my daubers out. Get my daubers. We go Flirty Flamingo or Pale Papaya? I think, I'll get rid of that one. Should we go Flirty Flamingo to pick up this flirty here? Although we've got Flirty Flamingo in the background. Maybe we should go Pale Papaya around the edge there. Let me grab my Pale Papaya ink. Oh, I've got everything in front of it now. Let's see if I can reach it. Oh, excuse me, reaching across everybody. Yep, ink. Oh yeah, Leslie said ink the edges as well. Yep, okay. Should we go Pale Papaya, do you think? Let me see. Now I've got to find my Pale Papaya. That one's Pale Papaya. Oh, Flirty. You think Flirty, Deborah? Okay. There's Flirty as well. You know what we can do? We can do a little test. I'll grab my Flirty. Where's my Flirty? There it is. Behind my, it's hiding behind my iPad. All right. So what we can do is we can do a little test on a little strip here. So let's go Flirty. See what that's going to look like. Okay, so that's the Flirty. So I'm just using a little sponge dauber. These come in a pack of 5, and then you can use them with whatever colour. They come obviously clean without the ink on them, and then you can use them for whichever colour. I keep one for every single colour that I have. Oh, okay. I need to get a new dauber because this Pale Papaya has got white ink in it as well, I think, and I've just put the white ink on there. I can't remember what I used that one for last. I must have used it for something, but not directly from my ink pad. Hang on a sec, I'll grab another dauber. To think where I'd put them. So here they are, sponge daubers, and they come in a pack of 5. I've already used 2 out of this packet. I always keep spare ones on hand for times such as these. I'll have to clean that bit of my ink pad off now. Well, not now, I'll do it when I finish filming. Okay, so that's the 2 ends. Now let's have a look. We'll hold it up to the card and we'll see which one we like better. So if we had that as the edge, that would be the Pale Papaya, and that would be the Flirty Flamingo. I think either would be fine, actually. I think either. Well, let's go with Flirty. We had 2. I think we had 2, didn't we, for Flirty? So we'll go with majority rules today. And we're just going to ink around the edges of our sentiment label. And these sponge daubers, they do hold quite a bit of ink. So depending on how much, what size shape you're daubering, sometimes you don't even need to re-ink. See, I haven't needed to re-ink this one at all. It's gone all the way around. There we go. Cool. Ah, pretty. All right. So that's our little sentiment label. Okay, so now we've got this piece already done. We can pop that down onto our note card. Now I'm going to pop that down flat. You have to be careful with dimension when you're using the note cards because they can be a bit tight to go into the envelopes. So just keep that in mind when you're adding layers and things to your card, to your note card. You don't want to be adding too many layers. Actually, I'm going to use tape on this one because I've got this twine just here. I want to make sure that I can get my adhesive in there beside where that twine is. There we go. So I've used 3 different types of adhesives today. I used the multi-purpose liquid glue. I used a little bit, did I use a little bit of Stampin' Seal or did I put that away in the end? I had it out. I can't remember if I ended up using it or not. Maybe I didn't. Just going to lift up that corner of that backing paper because I want to take this tape over the top of that twine. There we go. And I'll do the same with the bottom as well. I'll just lift up that end there. There we go. And that just helps to hold the twine down as well, hold it in place. And also too, so that part of the card won't sit up. Oh, my puppy's barking. She must have heard something out the front. She's such a little woofy head, our puppy. She's a good little guard dog. She doesn't like anybody coming into her territory. She's actually not used to people because we got her during COVID. We've had so many lockdowns and things like that and isolation with COVID that we just haven't had people over. We've hardly had people over since we got her. So she's really not used to people. But she's a lovely little thing. She's very affectionate with us. So cuddly. And loves her tummy rubs. Tummy rubs are her favourite thing. And she even rolls over now when we tell her to roll over for a tummy rub. She'll roll over to for us to pat her tummy. So now I can just add 1 layer of dimension just for the sentiment. Just want to lift that up off the background a little bit. But I didn't want to add 2 layers of dimensionals because of the going into the little note card envelopes. They're they're quite a snug fit. All right, so I'll just use some of my mini Stampin' Dimensionals because I need to open up a new packet of my large ones. There we go. Oh, you'll be using that tear and tape trick? Yeah, I didn't actually talk about that as I did it, did I? I just did it. It's a good idea to pull down those the start of the little side pieces. So I took off the top part, the backing of the top piece, the top strip, and then I just pulled out the ends and had them sticking out at the side. So gives you time to line up with the tear and tape. And then you line everything up, and then once you're happy that that's all straight, then you pull the rest of those strips out and your bottom strip and then adhere that down. Yeah, sorry, I didn't talk about that as I did it. I just did it. All right, so I'm going to pop my little sentiment label up here near my bow. There we go. Beautiful. And I'm going to use, let's see. This time I might use the Iridescent Rhinestones. We'll see if they're going to show up on there. These are gorgeous. I love these. Oh, that's why that felt loose. Thought that felt loose when I picked it up earlier. Let's use some medium size. See what colors are going to throw from, maybe if I put on the vanilla part of the, I'm going to get any bling from that. Just deciding where I'm going to put them. I might get some smaller ones. Hang on a minute. Let's get some smaller ones. They're not picking up too well on these colours. It's throwing blues from that one. Depending on what you put these on and as to what colour they throw, because I might get just the ordinary rhinestones. Actually, might need the silver backing with these colours. Yeah, it depends on the colours, because depending on which way you hold these, sometimes they throw off bluey green colours, and sometimes they throw off orangey pink tones, but it depends on what you're putting them on and at what angle you sort of hold the card. I certainly don't want them throwing off any blue colours though, because we don't have any blue in this paper. Let's go with our traditional, yeah, okay, we'll put a big one down there. We'll put a couple of little ones up here. Our traditional rhinestone basic jewels, you can't go past these ones. They are the best. So if we do that, and one at the top, bigger one down there, and let's do another one over here. There we go. So we've got 5 on there. There we go. And the ends of my twine are already unraveling themselves, which is great, because I like the ends of my twine to have the fibers separated, have them unraveled. There we go. There, done. Finito. There we go. So isn't that pretty? So the hardest thing was making the decisions as to which colours we were going to use. But once you get those decisions made, then it's actually a really quick card to put together. So there you go. So there's our 2 cards for today. So using that beautiful free Celebration Designer Series paper and using very minimal amount of products, you can get beautiful cards made. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Oh, you're going to be casing this card too. Oh, great. I'm glad that you love it. Tina Marie says, I love this layout. I'll be casing the layout. Oh, fantastic. That's good. I'm glad that you've had some creative inspiration today. That's awesome. There you go. So remember to look out for that Designer Series paper in the mini catalogue. You'll find it on page 4, and it's the Daffodil Afternoon 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And remember, it's free with a $90 purchase, and you can do so much with it. There's so many beautiful floral patterns in there, and as you can see, you don't need the coordinating stamp set and dies. If you don't have them, you can use them with other products that you already have in your stash. But aren't they just so beautiful? I just love how they turned out. Mandy, what is the name of the stamp set used in the second card? Oh, this one here. Yes, this was the, whoops. Uh-oh, there goes all my dies. This one is the Encircled in Friendship. And this one is from the annual catalogue. Oh, hang on a minute. Now that I say that, I think it's the annual catalogue. Let me double check that, which catalogue it's from. But it has coordinating dies as well that are like doilies, which I don't have pulled out at the moment, but I'll just find it for you and I'll show you. Yeah, it's in the annual catalogue, page 70. Let me find it and I'll show you. There we go. Yeah. So this is it here. It's really beautiful. Not sure if you can see the dies really well there, but they are it does have coordinating dies as well. I'm not sure that the big one will fit through the mini machine because it's quite wide. It's probably a little bit too big for the mini. Actually, let's have a look. Measure it on the... Yeah, the large one won't fit through the mini, but the other ones will. You need the large machine for the large die if you're getting the dies as well. But yeah, it's a really beautiful bundle, that one. I got it not that long ago, and I only used it for the first time last night and the second time today. So there you go. So that's that one. And then this was the dies, which I've buried. Oh, here we go. This one is the Amazing Thanks dies. Yeah, let me move that over. So this one is the Amazing Thanks dies, and this one is the Encircled in Friendship stamp set. Okay, you love that sentiment. It's a beautiful sentiment, isn't it? Just a note to let you know someone thought of you today. Yeah, I think it's really special, and I think that's a good one to use for at the moment with so much going on and for people. I think that's a really lovely sentiment to have in your stash. Well, there you go. All right. Well, I will tip the camera back up and say goodbye to you face to face, as I always like to do. So bear with me for one moment and I'll cover up the camera. We'll do a little flippity flip if I can undo my clamps. I've done them up so tight now for fear that it was going to fall today. There we go. I got it. That was very tight today. I had big muscles today. All right, and we'll do a flip, and I'll adjust my lights. There we go. Chopping my head off. Hang on, I'll adjust that in a sec. I'll just get all of that set up ready. There we go. Okay, let's tip that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, no more head chopping. Don't want to chop heads, do we? Alrighty, so let's hold those two up. A little bit of a longer live today. There we go. So there's my two cards. I better move over this way a little bit. There we go. So I hope you really liked those, and thank you so much for helping me choose as well. I love it when you work with me and we collaborate together to create our beautiful projects. And these are two very different ones from any that are currently in my stash. So that's really good. I like to have a variation of different cards in my stash because you never know what you're going to need, do you, for somebody. Often I find I need a card in a hurry, and so I like to have a lot of different types of cards in my stash ready to go. But be sure that you do send out those cards that you do make. Don't hang on to them. I mean, I do have a few that I keep. You can probably see up there on my display. I do keep a few for display, but eventually they will all be given away as well. I keep my favorite ones on display for a little while, or sometimes if I receive cards from people as well, I put them up there on my shelf on display so that I can enjoy them. Because that's what we want to do. We want people to enjoy those cards, and we want people to know that we are thinking of them. So thank you all so much for being with me today. I will be back on Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So I hope that some of you are able to join me then. I'll also be posting this over on my YouTube channel. Remember that if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. Today was a little bit longer, but we did two great cards, and it's just nice to craft together, isn't it? And just chill for a bit. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, and coming up on the weekend as well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you all stay safe as well. So take care, everybody, and happy crafting. See you soon. Bye.